Welcome everybody. My name is Nils. I'm from Gibson Pro Audio, and I'm proud being here in Australia together with our distributor Jands and having the opportunity and possibility to talk about our KRK subwoofer range. There's actually 4 different models available from the KRK subwoofers. There's a KRK 8S with an 8-inch driver, a KRK 10S, a 12S, and then a 12SHO, which utilizes way more amp power than the regular 12S Series 2. Now, I think there's a few features and I think a few things that I'd like to address when it comes to the subwoofer range, or actually subwoofers in general. Now, some people utilize a very, very small speaker with a 4-inch driver or 5-inch driver, or maybe even a 6-inch driver, and they work in a bigger room or they move their studio and they like to apply a little bit more low end to the mix. Now, applying more low end, what does that mean? I think first of all, it's important to understand that a subwoofer is not there to have more low end. It's just to extend more low end. Because a 4-inch driver, for example, physically isn't able to handle frequencies around 50, 40, 30 hertz. Now, we all know that especially modern music goes really, really low. And whether you use a dance, a pop track, or even, R&B, hip hop, or you go into trap, whatever style you name it, once you have frequencies that are so low, it's very, very hard to mix it on a 4-inch driver. Everything vocal-wise, everything like bass-wise, that's totally fine. But once you want to go lower, a subwoofer, or in this case, maybe like a speaker with a larger cone is needed. Now, the one thing I think that's very important on a subwoofer is that there is a certain frequency where the main speaker or the full range speaker crosses over to the subwoofer. Now, what we feel is very important, that people that utilize a subwoofer should have both options while they work. So they should be able to switch the subwoofer off and then listen to the system full range. And once they engage the subwoofer, then there is a certain crossover frequency applied, and then the low frequencies move to the sub and the frequencies all above go there. Now, in order to not have people crawling below their desk and constantly trying to switch off the subwoofer or bypass it, or take the cables and stick them together, all the KRK subwoofers feature a foot switch, which allows the people to bypass the subwoofer, or in this case, engage the crossover and then do exactly what I just described, have the higher frequencies or the top end running to the main system, and all the low frequencies been applied to the subwoofer. And therefore, we also have a crossover embedded at different frequencies, or that crosses over at different frequencies, to make sure that when you have a larger speaker like a 6-inch or even a speaker with an 8-inch driver, that the subwoofer really takes over only the frequencies that the specific speaker is not able to handle. Now, an 8-inch probably goes to 50 hertz, so you cross over at 50. A smaller speaker with a 4-inch driver probably runs at 60, 70, or maybe even 80 hertz. And so depending on the size of the subwoofer and the system that you use, you should apply the right crossover frequency. That's also something that I encourage people to try out, because it's also a little bit dependent on positioning of the subwoofer, on room anomalies. We have also tools on our website that people can download in order to make sure they dial it in correctly. I think a common I wouldn't say error, but a common thing with subwoofers, which I always recommend not to do, is make them too loud, because the louder you make the sub, the more you basically bring your mixes out of balance. Because, we all like bass and we all like listening to a nice warm bass. But if there's too much, you probably will not apply enough low end to your mixes. So whenever you dial in your sub, I think you should definitely be careful not putting in too much, and therefore use the right software or use the right tool to dial it in and make sure everything is flat. That's pretty much everything I want to say about subwoofers, but whenever you're going to look for a new subwoofer, I'd like to encourage you to check definitely out the new KRK range. Thank you for watching. And if you need more information, then you go to our KRK website, krksys.com. Thank you.